to our channel. This is our first episode that we're putting together. YouTube's something that we've been talking about for a while, and we're super stoked to start this journey. I'm Bubba, also known as IronFan5 on pretty much all social media channels.
Yep, and I'm Lacey, and I'm Lace Love, 2 E's on both of those, same situation, all social media.
Guys, well, thanks again for joining us. So really, we've been looking at starting a YouTube channel for quite a while. For me, it started many years ago when I was still in the service. I spent a little bit of time overseas and just missed riding. I've been riding for probably 15-ish years now and love it. And it really has become just a staple in my life. And so when that's taken away, you don't have the opportunity to ride. For me, I started going after content. So there's a handful of movies that I love and was watching on repeat over and over and over again. And that's really when I started turning to YouTube and seeing a lot of these new creators come out, but just put out riding content in general. It's just talking about bikes, showing rides, showing different areas to go, and I loved it. And so really, at that time, that's something that I realized like I would love to contribute to that community one day. And so as we've been together, and as Lacey started riding earlier this year, we started talking seriously about starting our channel and contributing to this community.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun so far.
Something that we want to do with our channel again, it's a community that I don't feel like could ever have enough content or material. And so when we started, really we started being active on social for myself about a year ago.
Yeah. And
really trying to get content and push it out. And neither of us have a background in photography, videography, anything like that. So it's a lot of trial and error and just kind of figuring it out as we go. And so with this, on this YouTube journey, we're trying a bunch of different cameras and different things that most people have access to help those people who maybe are on the verge to get started and then to understand what we're doing to get the shots and the content that we are creating. So as you follow our videos and you follow our channel, we'll try to include at least the camera, the medium that we're using to capture that content at that moment. It's just going to be, pretty much all action cameras, and then we got a drone about a month ago, so we're just starting to try to incorporate drone videos, and you'll see that a little bit in this episode. For this episode, something that we're going to do, so obviously we're introducing ourselves right now. We're going to jump right into it. We're going to show some footage. We'll jump back to us talking a little bit about our trip. Guys, obviously from the title, you know that something's coming in this episode, and we're going to definitely address that. But with this is really about our trip to Born Free. Went to Born Free 15. Now it's been a couple weeks. We really want to get this out quickly, and because of things that happened, day one of the trip, it kind of delayed us a little bit as we've gotten home. But really, like as you can see, Lacey's okay. She went down, and we'll talk about it. But the ride out initially was great.
Yeah, it was a wonderful time. Left early in the morning. It was a beautiful day. Left early enough to beat the heat in Arizona, but I'm not going to lie. For a long trip out for me, watching the sunrise coming up in the morning, which I guess would have been behind us from the west, it was absolutely beautiful.
time.
You weren't?
It's funny.
I didn't want to.
Dude. Dumb. I was recording for a second, and then I was like, I wasn't recording the entire time. Oh, it's the best.
I honestly love the ride out to Cali. We've got a fun little pit stop that we've stopped at a few times now just this year already. And if you've seen any of our posts, whether Instagram or TikTok, any of that stuff, Bubba's shared a few things, I've shared a few things of this really cool abandoned graffiti building. And back in, I think it was April when we checked it out more recently, to go back a second time, headed out to Born Free. It was pretty cool because it was totally different. So it's kind of fun. I have no idea who's art or graffiti or who it is that's out there tagging it, but it was really cool to see that even that itself changed. So
No, absolutely, and we'll jump into that footage right now. Guys, so again, we actually, our first stop was in Quartzsite. It's kind of our staple first stop, especially for rock lovers out there. But really, we stopped at a gas station. We're there real quick, and then hit the road again. And then we head to this spot that Lacey's talking about. It's literally just something we have marked on our map. It's a super fun little area, and for us, like, that was an opportunity. We really wanted to get the drone out and try to capture some footage and try our hand at that. So again, this is us trying to work the drone, get some artistic stuff in here, and hope you guys enjoy it. After we did this, we actually weren't at this pit stop for as long as we planned initially. It was super hot already. I think just after this, we got to Palm Springs, and it was already, mid-hundreds, so like 104, 105 there at 8 in the morning.
Yeah.
So it was getting toasty pretty quick, and we just really weren't able to spend as much time as we wanted, kind of putting in content time and trying out different things, because we really just we're trying to get back on the road. Something we did do this time, again, we left early in the morning, and then we also got cooling vests. I've been across the country a handful of times, summer and fall, never worn anything like this, and it actually made a big difference.
Yeah.
So I think we're all grateful for that. But we got that on at this little pit stop, and then we jumped back on the road.
So So maybe I won't get ice from there to drink. Sorry, I did. Oh no, it's okay.
Feels good. Feels good on the mind. All right, well, I'm gonna put mine on.
How's that feel?
Nice and cool.
All right.
And this is how you survive heat.
Oh my God. So clean. Wow.
All right, guys, so then after a good little quick bite to eat, we hit the road again. It was gonna be our last stop before hitting the hotel. And I'll let Lacey talk a little bit about what happened.
Yeah, so just coming out westbound towards Cali, just made it through the windmill area, if anyone's familiar. And yeah, it's just a gusty area. Again, like I said, I thought getting through Palm Springs and Indio was gonna be the biggest challenge for me for the wind. But yeah, a big gust of wind just came in and it was on the side. And I remember seeing in my peripheral a white car passing, not totally sure. The next thing I know was dirt in my face. Reason for the reason for the new helmet would be because at some point my face hit the ground and that visor came off, and lots of sand, lots of gravel, lots of dirt. But yeah, I just remember maybe trying to sit up. I had a pretty bad gash on the palm of this hand, tried to push myself up, realized very quickly that stung. But got myself on all fours, tried to stand up. My legs were pretty shaky. Knew nothing was broken though, because I could stand up. So I just sat back down, was trying to get my helmet off, spitting dirt and dust, all kinds of stuff. Bubba's mom, thankful for all three of them, but Bubba's mom came running over. She checked me out. She turned around, went running back to Bubba, and I'll let him finish from there. But pretty scary, but thankful for minimal bruising and just some pretty basic road rash. So it could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, and again, can't be grateful enough that Lacey's okay. Because from my perspective at the time, I was leading the pack. We're on comms with each other. We're going about 70 miles an hour. I hear a scream, can't see her anymore. And then as I'm trying to find her, I literally in my rearview mirror just see like a cloud of dust on the side of the road. And so everybody in our group just tried to get over as fast as possible. And I literally just got my bike to the side of the road and started running. My mom, who was running the trail vehicle for us at the time, was the first one to get to Lacey. And literally as I'm running, she just gives me a thumbs up. And I cannot explain the just overwhelming sense of relief that I had in that moment. Anybody who's ridden for long enough knows that like accidents do happen. And most people who go on at 70 miles an hour on the freeway don't walk away from it at all. And so in that moment, I think it was overwhelming. I was very scared. And then getting there. And then this huge turn of events happens where like really, she's like, my shoulder stings and my hands hurt. And I'm like, that's it? Like that's all we're working with? Like I'm checking her body, making sure nothing's broken, going through that whole thing. And she's fine. And again,
didn't lose a nail.
She didn't even lose a nail. And so just beyond a miracle in that instance. And so I really think that like for me, looking back on that trip, like, I don't know, it seems very surreal even now at this time.
Yeah.
But I will say after that, and again, something that in the moment didn't even think twice about, but we've talked about over the last couple of weeks, is the bike was not as in good a condition as Lacey was. And I will say like it still ran, which I was surprised at, like started right up. But the handlebars themselves were bent at about 45 degrees to the right. And so we had our trail vehicle. We were just like, we'll throw the bike into that. We had a little motocross ramp. And so I was able to ride it. Yeah, I was able to ride it in the back of an F-150 on the side of the freeway with 45 degree handlebars. And that might be the most impressive thing I've ever done on a motorcycle. And so for me, and not amazing. Like blow out the back window of the truck.
Pretty impressive.
So for me, I was pretty stoked on that one, or I am now. At the time, I really didn't even think about it. But now I'm like, that was cool. And
that was cool.
Then right after that, we hit the road. Plan was let's get to the hotel, let's get Lacey cleaned up, and then my thought was like we're probably gonna go to the hospital. And then we get to the hotel, and Lacey's like, you know, we're both like kind of helping getting her cleaned up. And then she looks at me and she goes, well, hey, what time is the event tonight? And initially going out, we planned to go out with this group it's Phoenix-based, Southwest Club style, and they do a bunch of events every week, but I'm always working during their event time, so I haven't been able to go. So for me, I was super stoked to link up with these guys.
Great group.
Yeah, at the Born Free, like pre-party. So that was the plan initially before any of this happened. But then Lacey looks at me, she's like, well, what time's the thing? And in my mind at that time, I'm like, there's no way we can go. And
we need a helmet.
yeah. But she's like, well, I need a helmet, so, you know, is there anywhere like close by that we can grab a helmet? And I was like, all right, I got to tell her how I feel. Because for me at this time, I'm still shook up. It's not the funnest thing in the world to hear screaming and then know that like the person you love just crashed, right, on the freeway. So I was still shook too.
Scary deal.
And I was like, hey, I think we should just stay in tonight. I think like we're going to the beach tomorrow. Let's see how you feel in the morning when you wake up. And she goes, I feel fine now. And then she looked at me and she's like, we never let fear dictate our lives, right? And that's something I've used as a phrase quite a bit.
Quite frequently.
And so it's
a great phrase though.
It was thrown right back in my face in that moment.
Yep.
And I just sat there and I was like, yep, you're right. All right, so I looked up a helmet store. Like I was like, where can we get a helmet right now? Revzilla has a storefront that's like was right down the street from, it's like 5 minutes away.
Yeah,
and
great.
So yeah, we went right over there, and that was to this day like the best customer service I've ever had.
Oh,
so
yeah.
shout out to Revzilla in like Orange County area, because that really was like the best customer service experience I think I've ever had.
He's a great dude.
Not even just with motorcycle stuff, just in general.
Yeah, great dude, super helpful. Tried on different sizes, different styles, found a new shoey, so we love it, and good to go.
Yeah, so we got a helmet, and then we finished off day one of our trip by going to the Southwest Club Style and then RX2 event that evening. Lacey got to share her crash story, and which in turn, a lot of other people were able to share their crash stories with us. So it was a great way to bond and have a good time. And I think in a lot of ways, we joked about it later. I was like, hey, you just covered, a handful of years worth of crashes and experience in an afternoon. And so welcome to that club. It's not the best club to be a part of, but a lot of people are. So
Grateful to be here though.
absolutely. But with that, that was the end of day one. We hope you'll stay with us for day 2 and day 3. Again, with this channel, something we really want to do is, oh yeah, I'm sweating in here. We're in our garage. It's brutally hot right now. It's like 110 degrees outside, just so you know. Yeah, this is rough. But hey, we really want to, again, contribute. So if you guys have questions, we're going to try to do stuff to help people understand how we're filming, what we're using to, like the cameras, the products, all that stuff. In the description of the video, I'll link everything out. Guys, thanks. See you later.
All right.
Mass.
Mass.